Improvements from the top down. WNBF Investigates is looking into how well police programs initiated by the state are working, like body cameras and academy training. Our investigative reporter Madison Martin is live now. And Madison, you spoke with both a law enforcement researcher and the head of South Carolina's Criminal Justice Academy to find out what they think is working and what isn't.
Yeah, and their perspectives did clash at times. The USC law professor I spoke with essentially presented a wish list for what he'd like to see happen to set police up for more success. Some of those items, I'm told, are being satisfied.
There's a lot of room where South Carolina can really grow and policing can improve.
One of those ways, according to USC law professor Seth Stoughton, is police training requirements.
Our current requirement for certification of officers is 480 hours of training. It's 12 weeks of training.
And according to the U.S. Department of Justice, the national average of core basic training is nearly twice that, 833 hours. But Criminal Justice Academy Director Jackie Swindler says the time they do have with recruits is used well.
I am very confident, very confident.
So well, he says, it sets themselves apart from other states, prioritizing decision-making, while other states' extra weeks may simply go towards more time with firearms or physical fitness.
It's not done hastily, I promise you. They work and put a lot of hours in. And then they go home and they have requirements they have to do once they get home. We constantly have officers who come into this state from other states to be police, and they challenge a test and they do not do well. So then they have to come do a lot more training with us.
In 2015, body cameras were mandated in South Carolina, but only if the General Assembly funded it. More than 5 years later, some agencies are still without body cams, something Stoughton and Swindler want to see change.
The thing I think that some people have some criticism about is that it almost kind of seems like the General Assembly was patting themselves on the back for being the first ones to mandate it, but then they didn't follow through.
That happens a lot of times. There are a lot of things that happen where you say, I'm going to write a law. And so they'll go past that law, but then they don't put the funding in with it or the teeth in it to make it where it really does what you wanted it to do.
Swindler says his wish list would entail opportunities for even more cutting-edge types of training, and if the state offered it, more time to do it. In the meantime, he's encouraged by the fact that the Academy constantly writes new programs whose teachings can have a lasting impact.
The ones that really, really get us is the testimonials where you taught us in crisis communication or de-escalation words to say to people that changed their whole perspective. I think we're doing some good things, and I'm seeing some good results.
And we're continuing to look into how well our police are working for you. And if there's anything you feel needs to change with how policing is done in the Grand Strand or PD, send our investigative team a tip so we can check it out. Live in the studio, Madison Martin, WNBF Investigates.